What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome to the first realistic rebuild in Madden 20 on the channel. Might be the first one on the YouTubes right now. I don't know. That was something I was shooting for, but we're here. Oh man, I sound like such a YouTuber. I'm super excited, but I am legitimately very excited to finally have my hands on this game. And I felt like what better team to start the rebuild cycle than with the Arizona Cardinals, a team, quite frankly, with a ridiculous head coach hire in Cliff Kingsbury. I mean, a guy that couldn't cut it at like a C-level college at Texas Tech, but gets a head coaching job. And then how they handle the quarterback situation, having Josh Rosen, like a top 10 pick quarterback on the roster, then drafting Kyler Murray at 1 while still having him there, and then eventually trading him to the Dog. It was just ridiculous. I felt like that, coupled with the fact they have a garbage offensive line, just absolute defenses in shambles. It's a prime team, and they're bottom 5, bottom 10 in terms of overall. So we're going to have our work cut out for us here today as we finally get to kick off the Madden 20 rebuild season. Now, I hate to do this, but because it's early in the video, if you guys are pumped for the rebuilds to be back, smash that like button. Anytime my rebuilds, for whatever reason, go over 1,000 likes, like that's the threshold for them to do really, really well. And we're trying to have a huge year here on YouTube. So if you guys can just hit that like button, I almost get shivers trying to do like the traditional YouTube stuff, but I'm gonna be trying to shoot for 1,000 likes on all the videos because those really help them in the search, and we really want, like I said, man, we're so close to 100,000 subs. I want that so bad. I'd love it if you help me subscribe. It's your first time stopping by. So now that that's done, I need a shower. Let's take a look here at our base roster. What are we working with here with the Arizona Cardinals? There are 73 overall. You got 75 offense, 77 defense. The team that is coming off holding the #1 overall pick. We look at the quarterback room. Obviously, it all goes around Kyler Murray. He is the big-time player. As a hidden dev trait, we're going to have to play 500 snaps to figure that out. Hopefully, it's like Superstar or something like that. It should be in that territory, but who knows, man? This is such a welcomed addition, welcomed feature to franchise mode. I'm telling you right now, though, we're going to make him a captain. He better be a captain. He needs to be one of our team leaders right off the rip. So we got Kyler at quarterback. At running back, we got David Johnson. I think he got a little bit underrated here. 87 star. You remember when he's healthy, he's one of the best receiving running backs, like complete running backs, modern day prototypical running backs in the National Football League. So hopefully we can get him back up into a superstar dev trade. He is 27, so that's not a great age if previous Maddens has been any indication about regression and stuff like that. But he still is a beast and should be very pivotal going down the stretch for our team. We got some all right other depth here. TJ Logan's a great little change of pace option there too, but I mean DJ 92 speed, don't really need to change the pace. Hopefully he's gonna be on the field every damn down. At wide receiver, we got the ageless wonder himself, Larry Fitzgerald, Larry Legend, 84, only a normal I mean, he's super old, but we'll just stick him in the slot, let him do what he does best. Hopefully he can rub off and really help out the young core. These are going to be the guys, not Kevin, not you, not you, and you, that I'm going to be hoping can take this team into the future. We got Christian Kirk, talented playmaker at Texas A&M, 76 star dev player, 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 83 catching. Great route runner, offers some versatility on special teams. We got Andy Isabella, the burner from UMass, hidden dev trait, 72 overall. Didn't get a face scan, but 95 speed, 82 catching, 87 jumping, 81 spec catch. He is going to be primed for a huge year. And then big Hakeem Butler. If you paid attention to my Twitter, follow me on Twitter for sure, if you're not already doing that, because during the college football season, I told you guys like real early, Hakeem Butler, this kid at Iowa State, absolute beast, 72, only a normal dev, which kind of stinks. But the fact that you're 6'5", you come with 88 speed, 84 catch in traffic, 87 jumping, 87 spec catch, there is a lot to work with there. So I'm looking at this wide receiver room. We have Larry for now, but Kirk, Isabella, and Butler down the stretch. I'm very excited about what we can potentially develop them. And you still got Bird, got some speed. Chad Williams, trying not to be a bust. There's some talent here. Pharaoh Cooper for a nice little special teamer. At tight end, we got Charles Clay, a little bit of a, I think that's a generous rating. I'm going to do this right over the rip. He came in the league and played as like an H-back, so we're going to make him actually our fullback right now. So we can have a decent fullback. He goes from an 80 tight end to a 79 fullback, and I don't even think we're going to really use one, but the sim does it. And we got Max Williams and Ricky Seals-Jones. Max Williams came out of Minnesota very hyped. Was a high pick there for the Baltimore Ravens. We'll see if we can turn his career around. Seals-Jones is a converted wide receiver. And you also have Caleb Wilson, really good receiving threat, one-dimensional rookie at a UCLA. Think he was Mr. Irrelevant. So jumping to the offensive line, this is going to be the big project of the Cardinals. DJ Humphries, I mean, you know, with the ratings stretch this year, the big, you know, change to the ratings, offensive linemen were hit really, really hard. So 72, last year 72 was like depth at best. This year 72 is like, once you get into the 70s, these are guys that can start. Humphries is a 72 normal. You know, hopefully we can develop him into anywhere on the offensive line. At 6'5", 307, I think he has some versatility. He can play guard or tackle. Sweezy's not. We got to upgrade left guard for sure. I like Gaillard out of Georgia, but 66 overall, that is kind of a tough sell. Hopefully you can develop. Well, it's learning curve. This is my first franchise in Madden 20. I mean, we start at the Raiders, but I have no idea how these devs and how these guys are going to develop, how quick they're going to develop. We got Pugh here, expensive player, not going to lie, going to be looking to move on from him sooner than later. Right tackle, they traded for Marcus Gilbert from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's 83, he's solid for the time being, and my God, there's absolutely nothing behind him. So yeah, it's not going to be sexy, but pretty much have to go all out and fix this offensive line as soon as humanly possible. On the defensive side, so they're switching back to a 3-4. We got Kim Dichie here. In real life, doesn't seem like the Cardinals are too high on him. We're going to have to, you know, hope we can develop him. He developed really good in Madden 19. Uber talented at Ole Miss. I think he was like one of the #1 recruits out of high school when he went to Ole Miss. He's 75, you know, former first-round pick. I think we're gonna be able to make it work with him. We're gonna have to hope to too, especially with this new front. We have File on here. Zach Allen will probably project it as our starter. He had a lot of first-round hype until he didn't really test particularly well in the offseason, in the draft process. We'll probably go with Zach Allen as one of our starters there. Dogby from Temple, really good stats. Because we're not really using, though, he probably will just be depth. Inside nose tackle, we have Corey Peters. He's solid, but he's 31, so we need to find his potential replacement. We got old man T-Sizzle. T-Suggs returning to Arizona, playing outside. It's a 1-year rental. Obviously 83, but he's a big-time playmaker. Dev trait's normal at this point. Middle linebacker, they got Jordan Hicks coming over from the Philadelphia Eagles. That was a pretty good get, even though his contract is very expensive. I think having Hicks and Hassan Riddick is going to be one of the bright spots of our defense. Both are very athletic and have pretty good upsides. Obviously, a lot more, hopefully, for Hassan Riddick, as Hicks is 27. But I love that pickup in Jordan Hicks. Obviously, as an Eagle fan, he's very good when he's on the field. His problem is with injuries. And Riddick, what's his dev? Don't say normal. It's normal. Like, killing me. Right outside linebacker, we got Chandler Jones, who got an 82 overall. That's without a doubt one of the worst base ratings that was given in this game. He has a superstar dev trait, so hopefully we can continue to grow that. Obviously, his rating is low because of his coverage abilities, but ultimately it comes down to either compensate to give him a fair rating or straight up just create an edge position so he's not classified as an outside linebacker where his rating is negatively affected by coverage stats. But I mean, he is really good, so we have that going for us. In the secondary, we have Pat Pete. There's no suspension, so his Lane Johnson Mexican supplements didn't come into effect. He is 29. So we're only gonna have Pat Pete for a little bit before he starts regressing. You would assume Alfred's a veteran presence. Byron Murphy is gonna get major snaps. This guy had a legitimate first-round grade. The Cardinals got him in the second round. He's our brightest prospect here at the cornerback spot. Other than that, there's just not a whole lot. Free safety, Budda Baker. He's 80 overall. Actually, let's look at these dev traits. So we know Pat Pete got superstar. Only a star for Pat Pete. Oh. Byron Murphy got hidden. Okay, so there's some upside. He has at least a star dev, so that's good. Budda Baker is 23, 80 overall with a star dev as well. Need big things out of him. Bring some versatility. He can play corner as corner. We have Deontay Thompson, who was actually pretty highly regarded out of Alabama, and then kind of sizzled off near the end. So maybe we have something there. Strong safety, DJ Swearinger, 83 overall, has a star dev. So our safeties look pretty good. Zane Gonzalez and Andy Lee on special teams. So that is the Cardinals base roster. There are some good things, there are some bad things. The worst thing is that when you look at this right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 of like our top 5-ish play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 of our top 6 players are not going to be great rebuild options. But that's what we're doing with the Cardinals first, man. We want a challenge. So let's get into year number 1. So we're at the conclusion of the preseason. We will set our season goal here. Oh boy. You either get 4 wins. How come there's literally like we'll go 4 wins. This is a 4-win team at the most. I have custom draft classes ready to go. We thought that they were actually going to just like quickly drag and drop work from Madden 19 to Madden 20. We're having a little bit of a hiccup. So for the time being, we're just going to modify. Like when I draft players, I will make them real prospects kind of deal. And hopefully, I mean, the game hasn't even fully launched yet. Hopefully, within the next week or so, we can figure it out and I can have my custom draft classes. So if you're on PC, that means you got to have 2020, 2021, 2022 for your draft classes. But unfortunately, obviously, today's just way too soon for us to have that fully up and ready to go. So we're here halfway point of the season. I'm telling you right now, man, these goals are awesome. The goals so far have been really, really good. You'll see them more in depth. Obviously, if we look at every single goal, these rebuilds will add, they'll be 2 hours long. But the goals are super dope. Like I had, for an example, like Larry Fitzgerald would be like, I want to take Andy Isabella under my wing. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, do that. And instantly, it's like, all right, +3 short route running for Andy Isabella. So really, really good feature. I know a lot of you guys are pretty much in the clouds about what is going to be these scenarios. So they're really cool. And next time they show up, I'll actually try to show you them. But we're coming off a big Week 7 victory, 24-17 over the Giants at the midway point. We have a weekly award winner, Terrell Suggs, 9 tackles, 3 sacks on the day. Ageless wonder, doing the damn thing. We're 3-4. I mean, we set our regular season goal to 4 victories, and we're sitting at 3-4 right now. So that is really, really dope. Looking at our roster from snaps, we had 3 players that were looking to find what their dev trait was. Kyler Murray comes in. He got a star dev. Cool. I mean, not superstar X Factor, but it is something. Andy Isabella, we're still working to try to figure out what his dev is. He's very close. We got 92 more snaps to go, so that's probably a game or so. And then on the defense side, it was Byron Murphy. We need to see what his dev, and he has come out as a star as well. So we got some nice, young, talented playmakers here on this team. So now it's a midway point. We got to talk about contracts. So we have Larry Fitzgerald. It's going to feel really not good not offering him a contract, but I feel like, okay, this is almost because we have a lot of salary cap. I just can't let him walk. It just looks so weird him playing elsewhere, but we're going to have to phase him out, man. We got to get our younger wide receivers out there and more involved. Marcus Gilbert, because we are so thin at offensive line, we're going to try to bring him back. We'll give him another contract because, I mean, it's still a learning curve. Maybe the regression is not going to be nearly as bad as it was in Madden 19, and, it's going to be worth it paying and giving new contracts to guys that are over the age of 30. Swearinger's 28, 84, $36 million deal is not too bad, so we'll get him locked up. T-Sizzle, just coming off a Player of the Week performance, only wants a 1-year deal. Again, our salary cap is pretty good, so we'll try to bring him back on a 1-year deal. Other than that, I mean, we have our both tight ends are up for contract. Obviously, we get a little bit more from Ricky Seals-Jones. We'll see if he'll take that money, which he will. Let Max Williams just kind of sit there and wait. $10 million for Kim Dichie. Got big plans for him for the future of our defense. He wants more money. DJ Humphries, I'd like to keep him on our offensive line, even though that's a lot of money for a 74 overall player. We'll want to bring him back. So we have to come back for a couple new contracts here. Kim Dichie for sure. T-Sizzle, maybe a little bit better offer for Marcus Gilbert. And other than that, man, we did a good job with our in-house signings, but a big gamble because a lot of these guys getting kind of up there in age. A little long in the tooth. So here we are at the end of our first regular season for the Arizona Cardinals rebuild. We did better than expected. I mean, technically tied for second in the NFC West and 5 wins. So we got one win more than our goal, which is some all right XP. Helped out with our coach leveling there. Our team's up to a 77 overall, 79 offense, 81 defense. A quick look at the players. Kyler Murray's up to an 81. Kirk's up to an 81. Isabella's up to a 79. Gilbert, 84. I mean, really the only growth we had on the offensive line was Gaillard, because that, for whatever reason, we were prompted, Gilbert's like, I'll take him under our wing. So he went from a 66 up to a 70. He had the most growth outside of Kyler Murray on our offense, which is kind of weird, but I'll take it because we might have a future center on our hands. Byron Murphy's up to an 80. He developed fairly well, as did Jordan Hicks and Hassan Reddick. So, it's starting to take shape. It's starting to take shape, and now we have an offseason to actually influence the team, try to put our own stamp on things. Looking at the stats for our boys in the regular season, Kyler Murray just shy of 4,000 total passing yards, 24 touchdowns to 4 picks, so that is pretty good. Understanding that we kind of are handicapping ourselves because they are, apparently the devs came out and said, I think it was Swami, that they're going to working on making it so quarterbacks actually run, because you only get 21 yards for Kyler Murray, and kind of neutralizing his running ability, really putting yourself at a hindrance. But David Johnson did pretty well, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns, especially with the offensive line that we've given him. That's really respectable. On a receiving standpoint, Larry Fitzgerald, just a legend. 73 catches, 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Almost 804 from Christian Kirk, 654 from Isabella, almost 604 from Ricky Seals-Jones, 400 from David Johnson. Max Williams got himself in some touches here. Definitely would have liked to see more for Hakeem Butler, but he was just buried on the depth chart. Almost fingers kind of hoping Larry Fitzgerald retires, just so it clears up room there. On the defense, Jordan Hicks on the team with 117 tackles, 10 TFLs, 3 sacks, 2 picks. So that is well worth the money they invested in him, bringing him over as a free agent from the Eagles. On the sacks front, we got 11.5 sacks from T-Sizzle, Ageless Wonder, 7 sacks from Chandler Jones, 6.5 from Kimdichie, as well as 14 TFLs. On the picks front, 3 from Pat Pete, 2 from Hicks, 2 from Alfred, and a couple singles there. Looking at the award winners, yearly awards, MVP went to Tom Brady. I'm not overly surprised. We have nobody there, however. Very annoying. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Drew Brees. Kyler Murray coming in 9. I'll take that. That's a great start to his career for the Oklahoma prospect. Defensive Player of the Year went to Quan Alexander. Hey, George Hicks coming at 9. Take that. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Kyler Murray. Andy Isabella at number 2. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Sean Bunting. Byron Murphy coming in at 3. All right, you know, we had some good success there. Some good individual success. Team success was better than expected. So let's keep on keeping on. Get into our first offseason with the Arizona Cardinals. And I'm a little bit nervous going into our first free agency. We're probably going to find a lot of familiar suspects that we're going to see in a lot of year one of the rebuilds. Like last year was like Trevor Williams from the Chargers. We're probably going to find that guy, as well as they have come out and said that there's going to be no more Redskins and Dolphins just ruining free agency. So that is definitely a big bonus as we go into free agency with $54 million. Looking at where we can improve our team. We're pretty good at running back, even though there's some big names there. Kareem Hunt, I guarantee Kareem Hunt's going to be the big guy, big number 1 target almost every year. I mean, we could look at adding some youth behind David Johnson, but for right now, that's not where we need to be spending our money. At wide receiver, Larry Fitzgerald did retire, so we're down to Kirk Isabella and Hakeem Butler. I want to roll with that. I feel like we can make that work. At tight end, we have Seals-Jones. You know, there's no one really that much of an upgrade. Offensive line, we could definitely get better. There's never anything at offensive line. We got Cody Whitehair, who we could spend some big money. And look, the Redskins are there. At least it's not a bid of like 150. But for whatever reason, Gaillard, I don't know if we like triggered some sort of story, but he's developing nicely. So I want to continue to give him that opportunity. Right guard. There's some guys here, but not much. We're probably going to have to draft our offensive line. Let's be completely honest. Marcus Gilbert didn't want to take our contract. I wasn't going to tag him. You know, there's a Fetty there. He's 26, 77. That's not bad. Big V. I mean, we'll see if we can get a Fetty in. We'll give him 5 and 275. If that's good enough to bring him in, we'll take him. If not, it is 100 points. We will get younger at that position. Defensively, again, we want to keep rolling with Kimdichie at nose tackle. A guy like Armstead, get at him. He's not a nose tackle, though. That is not, even though it says it's a scheme fit, he's a scheme fit if we go to, make him a defensive end. But we need a nose tackle. I mean, we definitely can get younger with Billings. Billings or Poona Ford. No bids on Billings. They both have the same dev trait. So let's go with Andrew Billings. He was really highly regarded at Baylor. Bring him in as our nose tackle, opposing defensive end. I mean, Gakwe's not a scheme fit. We could look at bringing in a veteran. I mean, Taco Charlton's kind of fringe. 275, that's about as small as you'd want to go with a 3-4 end. We'll bring him in 1 year, $5 million. See if that can entice him. For an outside linebacker, I think that's where we'll be looking towards the draft. Inside, we're Gucci. Corner, we're okay. Safeties, we're okay. Special teams, we got our kicker. We need a punter. I like to wait till the draft anyway to get our punter. So that is how our bids get open up. And usually we're not going to go through all the free agents, but I like going year one. I know you guys are probably interested who's going to be potentially available for your franchise modes in year one. So if Fetty, Charlton, and Billings, that'd be some pretty good business there from the Cardinals. As obviously it's about time to get into, get sponsored by DraftKings because we're going to get to our first Madden 20 draft. And beautiful, able to land all 3 of our targets. Tarko Charlton trying to turn his career around after a little bit of a fizzle out in the Dallas area, Fort Worth area. We got Billings to come in, will be our starting nose tackle, and Fetty will come in and try to salvage a career. He's been pretty, average for the Seattle Seahawks and be our starting right tackle. Now, time for the draft. All right, so here in the draft, oh boy. I have no idea what to look for. They've changed all of these around. The grades, you're now graded against other draft picks and rookies, not against the league. Hopefully that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have A- pursuit. That's not A- pursuit, and you're being compared to, like, Luke Kuechly and Bobby Wagner. That's A- pursuit compared to, like, the other rookies. And that guy's looking like our top target right now. We have the 2nd overall pick. And I'm only showing you this right now because, like, obviously it's the very first of everything. I'm going to be modifying these guys, like, just for now until I get my draft class. Like, when I pick this guy, I'm just going to make him the best defensive end in that draft class. Anyways, he's looking like the best fit for us as our draft board shapes up. Offensive line stuff, all the O linemen, I know that's like the ratings curve. That's where it really get adjusted, but they all look fairly good, man. High bench press. I mean, these are like just common tendencies from before. All in the B grades, at least the ones that I've been able to get a short list of, which is great for us because we need to go big on the offensive line standpoint. Top 2 targets right now for me, though, is either Laquan Marion, who will probably, I don't even know who we're going to make it, or Marvin Gallagher. 2 A's on the offensive line. He also got 39 reps on the bench press. But we did bring in Fetty, who would be able to slide Gallagher over to right tackle. And when you look at defensive end, I mean, we do have Kim Dichie, but we could look at another defensive end to pair with him long term. So I think that's going to be the selection just to make this pick. We'll go with him, Laquan Marion out of Oregon. Sure, early first rounder. Really good. 40 reps on the bench press, 488 at 310 pounds. Guy's built and looks like, Jesus, like Quinnen Williams or something like that. So we get him. 77, comes in with a hidden dev. It looks like it has a really weird body shape, built like a T-Rex. But number 2 in total talent, we pick him at number 2. Big pick there for the Cardinals. Who's he actually going to beat in real life? You'll have to come back at the end of the draft. So, draft recap time after the first draft. And boy, oh boy, that rating stretch. We did okay. I mean, we saw the first pick. We made it Raekwon Davis, the defensive end from Alabama. Big 6'7" Raekwon Davis. Going to come in and start, probably take over Zach Allen's spot. Then in the 2nd round, we get a 70 overall corner, and honestly, that's like the 2nd highest overall player in the, well, maybe not 2nd, but let's look. 2nd round, we got Thomas Graham Jr., very nice corner out of Oregon. Had a lot of production his first 2 years at Oregon, but we got a 70 overall. So look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's tied for the 6th best in that round. So the ratings are definitely lower in this year's game, which is good. I assume it's pretty good. Our 3rd round pick, we kind of whiffed on him, so I didn't even modify him. Nicholas Potter, tackle from Florida, may have took a little bit by. 67 is not bad. Like, I'm telling you right now, you got to get used to it. The ratings are going to be a shock, and I would say from my experience, anything over a 65, you got something you might be able to work with. Anything below it, look, we got a 50 overall quarterback in the 5th round, okay? There are some bad players in these drafts. But in the 4th round, we got a very nice guard, 70 overall. I think he's the 2nd best player, 3rd, maybe even the best player that was selected in day number 3. So we made him Brandon Bowen, very versatile guard from Ohio State with a normal dev. So pretty solid draft class for us as we welcome mainly the big Raekwon Davis, but Thomas Graham Jr. also might have some opportunities to get some snaps as a rookie. All right, so we're here in the preseason, and this is the thing I was telling you about with like Lamont Guyer last year. So again, this is the exact same prompt. I don't know if it's random. I just keep getting this. So look, we signed a while back. Very impressive. We're getting this stuff. I was like, okay, I want to work on his pass blocking. And then right away, he's like, okay, cool. You want pass block power or finesse? He's a finesse type player. So we're going to make him finesse. And he goes, okay, thank you. And look at that. +3 pass block finesse right off the rip. So, man, I'm telling you guys, you might not have been sold on these scenarios, but understand that it's the tip of the iceberg. They're only going to build upon this throughout the year because they are going to patch this in. Make sure you play on your cloud franchise modes. It's going to be a big feature, and the possibilities are limitless for how they can utilize this tool. So we are here at the beginning of year 2, up to a 75 overall, 77 offense, 79 defense. When you look at the big players, not a whole lot of changes on the offensive side of the ball yet, even though we are hoping for big development seasons for Isabella, Kyler Murray, Kirk, Keem Butler for sure. Now with Larry Fitzgerald passing on, and not dying, passing on to retirement. Probably could use better words there. you know, we're going to need these guys to step up. Offense, we got Bowen will be starting at left guard. Guyard, for whatever reason, is just taking off like lightning. He's going to develop into something special. Fetty, who we brought in at free agency, is taking over for Marcus Gilbert at right tackle. On the defensive side of the ball, some pretty decent changes. Taco Charlton is going to be outside linebacker along with Chandler Jones. Raekwon Davis will start at defensive end. Him and Billings are brand new faces there to the interior. Billings coming in as a nose tackle, formerly of the Bengals. Thomas Graham Jr. will be our third corner, so he's going to have to hit the ground running, kind of throwing him to the Wolves here just a little bit, as we're going to need and expect a lot from our 75 overall defense here in year number 2. Halfway point, 0-8. Not good. It's not very good. Look at the contracts. First up, Pat Pete wants a 1-year deal. That's all right. Same as what we saw in Madden 19, where really good corners just want that 1-year deal. Just give them that guac, and by guac you mean that green. We got Budda Baker, really big time player for the remainder of this rebuild. So even though he didn't want that money, we're gonna make sure we come back to the table. Same goes with Hassan Riddick, 3-year deal. Going to be hopefully continue to develop into the 80s. Taco Charlton, not so much. Billings has been solid, so we'll see if we can give him a 3-year deal, and he'll come back on that, which he will. Other than that, I mean, we can just trim a lot of the fat here on the roster. So we'll make sure we can come back and lock up Budda Baker long term. Other than that, you know, maybe we'll spend a little bit more money in free agency this upcoming year. So end of year 2 wasn't our best performance, but our team is developing, and that's really where we should be at right now. Still working on getting there. We're still like a year away from being a year away. You know what I'm saying? 4 wins, 4-12, bottom dwellers in the NFC West. Looking at our stats, Kyler Murray, okay season, 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns to 12 picks. Another big year from David Johnson, 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. But now you got to start to worry that his window's getting small. He's 28, almost. You know, he's getting ever closer to that 30 regression that we always fear for our running backs. Christian Kirk, 900 yards, 8 touchdowns as the primary receiver for the offense with no more Larry Fitzgerald. 830 and 5 from Isabella, almost 605 from Hakeem Butler. Steels Jones was okay. Definitely want a little bit more production from the tight ends. David Johnson was decent out of the backfield. On the defense side, Hicks yet again leads the team with 127 tackles, 10 TFLs, and a sack. 9 sacks from the rookie Raekwon Davis. That's huge. 70 tackles, 20 TFLs, 9 sacks from the number 2 overall pick. Couldn't ask for much more than that. 15 TFLs, 7.5 sacks from Chandler Jones, 5 sacks from Kim Dichie. We got 6 picks from Pat Pete, who's a 2-time defensive player of the week. I think he had 2 pick sixes. Swearinger got 3. I mean, that's really good production there from the secondary. Thomas Graham, our second-round pick, 89 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 picks. I will take that. Yearly awards, MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. We have in the NFC, Offensive Player of the Year went to Ezekiel Elliott. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we didn't have anybody. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Raekwon Davis, so big ups to him. Thomas Graham coming in at number 3. So individual success, again, for our young players, much like year 1, was high, but the team success was low, so we desperately need to try to turn that around here in the offseason as we get ready for year number 3. Year 2 draft going into year 3, very successful. You could definitely still see the ratings curve, but we drafted well because it's DraftKings. First round, we got the 2nd overall pick back-to-back years, which is not great, but we got Jeffrey Okudah, very talented corner from Ohio State. He comes in, 77 hidden factor, so hopefully it's something better than star, but even if it is a star, I will take a 77 star corner, 6'2", and he comes in with like 90-some speed, so, you know, and he gets to learn behind Patrick Peterson. That's dope. Second round, we got Puka Williams. Right now, in real life, maybe a little bit of off-the-field issues, but still a very talented home run hitter running back. And I'm more so matched up. I didn't want to touch the ratings on this player because, you know, until we get my draft class, we have to use random players. And this guy had 94. So I'm looking at like some of the home run hitters for that 2021 class. And Puka Williams is at the top of that list. So that is big. And again, grooming to be maybe the successor to David Johnson. But for right now, a great tandem with David Johnson. Beyond that, all right, draft. Understand, like I said, 65 is kind of the target you want to hit. We got Hillman here, a D tackle, 69. Dotson, 68 strong safety, just trying to fill out some depth. We got Barnhart, a punter, 67. So we had a pretty good draft, generally speaking. And in the scope of Madden 20, this is probably like a B+, A- type draft because we got the 2 big 77s. Year 3, let's get a check-in on the progress of our team. We're up to a 79 overall, 83 offense, 83 defense. And I'm really liking the development. Clearly of Kyler Murray. We're saving up right now with Cliff Kingsbury to get the QB package because I really want to take Kyler Murray to that next level before we get that contract. David Johnson's still hanging on there, 85, but Puka Williams is waiting there to kind of, help him out just a little bit. Kirk's up to an 85, Isabella an 84. Hakeem Butler's slow, but I think we have a chance, especially this year, to get him up into the 80s. Offensive line, Bowen is the thing triggered again with Pugh saying, like, I want to take an O-lineman under my wings. We saw tremendous growth for Gaillard, and he got that for Bowen this year, so that is huge. That it looks like we're going to have a stud at left guard as our offense looks to at least get into the 80s this year. Defensively, how it changes, Raekwon Davis is a monster, up to an 85 overall, the number 2 pick last season. Now, hopefully, the number 2 pick this season in Okudah can follow a very similar career trajectory. Already got 2 point upgrades throughout the preseason, which was huge. Other than that, though, no real changes. We got Noah Spence in at outside linebacker just to add some depth because Chris Jones is regression. 78. He's 31. He's hitting that wall just a little bit, even though he still has superstar. So, we got to start planning for the future. But I like this squad. And I think hopefully, I think this year maybe the goal 8-8, go for that 500 on the year. Halfway point of year 3, we're actually killing it right now. 5-2, which we already have our personal best for wins at the midway point. We have a big matchup here, week 9, against the 5-2 Detroit Lions. Our team's developing just pretty nicely. Competitive NFC West right now. Looks like a 2-horse race between the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Don't know why I got a black screen back here, but that's cool. Looking at contracts, Pat Pete still wants a 1-year deal. He's still holding on to his rating. Definitely better than, say, Chandler Jones, for an example. So we'll come back to the table with him. David Johnson's up there in age. What does he want? A 3-year deal at 29. I'll offer him this. I'm not going to offer him anymore. If not, because we got Puka Williams there. We haven't unlocked his dev trait yet. Okay, David Johnson will take it. But we haven't unlocked Puka Williams' dev trait yet, but we're hoping. Christian Kirk has been an asshole. He's been, coming up in little mini stories, being like, I'm not getting enough of this, I'm not getting enough of that. But he's a good player, so sometimes you have to deal with the diva wide receivers. Kim Dichie, still solid enough at defensive end. Fetty's 27, still an okay age. He'll be under 30 by the time we finish this rebuild. So we'll come back and negotiate with him. Chandler Jones just too old. Humphreys, again, 27 is getting up there a little bit, but we're almost into the 80s. We've been developing for this long. He might as well not stop now. Other than that, this Scherfel guy got real good stats. 90 catching, all those speed. We'll see. You want to take this? Hey, cool. Got a nice little depth signing there. Other than that, though, that's how it's going to stand right now. We'll come back and renegotiate with Fetty and Pat Pete and make it 3 years for 3 years. So we had very effective in-house negotiating with our potential free agents. Let's go! Playoff berth in year 3 for the Cardinals. We went 8-8, which is, that was our goal, I guess, and I didn't think that goal would get us into the playoffs. But we got a divisional title too. Year 3, Div 8. Oh, what an ugly. It looked like it was going to be super competitive. We had 5 wins in the midseason. I thought we tanked the season for sure with how we finished it. But, hey, still good enough to get into the playoffs. And we have a home game against the 10-6 Panthers with Cam Newton. Looking at our stats on the season, again, don't know why that thing's black. Kyler Murray's kind of peaking here. Would like to see him do a little bit better for sure. David Johnson, another real solid season, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. Puka Williams chipped in 2. That's awesome. A lot of balance. Really lethal backfield. Just imagine if they actually would have Kyler Murray run too. That'd be double scary. Christian Kirk, almost 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. Isabella, 677. That's definitely not even the number. Really, really tired at this point. 4 touchdowns. Seals Jones had a good year. Hakeem Butler was solid. From a defensive standpoint, Byron Murphy. Ooh, never great when your corner leads your team in tackles, but 102 tackles for Byron Murphy. 2 picks. We got 5.5 sacks from Raekwon, 15 TFLs. Look at that run defense, though. Really good run defense. Just living in the other team's backfield. Picks are, generally sacks and picks were down. The number across the board, pretty good, but no standouts. Yearly awards, I'm not expecting to see much here. Jacoby Brissett got the MVP. So the Madden 19, whoever's the QB of the Saints wins MVP sometimes is a thing. And there's Cam Newton at number 5. He had a good year, so that's making me a little bit worried about our potential playoff matchup. Brissett got Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Come on. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Puka Williams coming in number 5. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Jeffrey Okudah. So, again, the consistent has been the individual success of our rookies, our highly touted rookies. So, we have this matchup here. Because it's our first time in the playoffs, I don't know if we're going to make it. I just want to see what the sim looks like. We're just going to sim this game. So, let's get into it against the 10-6 Carolina Panthers. All right, let's do it. Let's see what kind of sim cheese we got going on. We got to jump out to a 7-3 lead, which is great. I'm going to love this sim. I'll never badmouth this sim if we get a win here. If we get a win here, then it's kind of fair. So we're 17-6, moving the ball fairly well. Our defense is stopping Cam Newton. That is tremendous. They've yet to get anything better than a field goal, and we are controlling the clock fairly well. Let's just not choke and do nothing in the second half, which it looks like is what we're doing. But, oh no, we're going to choke this, aren't we? It's going to be a nice 28-27 loss. Oh, it's okay. It's tied 27. Third down alert. Come on. Get into score range. Big field goal. He makes it 3-point lead. 58 seconds to go. They turn it over because Cam Newton ain't clutch. He probably fumbled the ball and wouldn't jump on it or something like that. As the Cardinals, Cliff Kingsbury, Kyler Murray get their first playoff win. In their first playoff game, Kyler Murray was outstanding on the day. Look at that. 286 passing yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception, 95 yards from David Johnson. Big day, Christian Kirk. I mean, a coming out performance. 7 catches, 117 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, Swearinger had 10 tackles, 3 sacks from the beast, Raekwon Davis. 2 picks from Byron Murphy and Pat Pete. As just like that in year 3, we are heading to the NFC divisional round game. All right, let's go. We got the Bears, a team that has an incredibly feared defense with Kyler Murray being hot. Who knows? We got a chance. So it's tied up 3, trading field goals. Bears get the opening touchdown of the game. But we're pressing. We're pressing. Come on. Oh, my God. That defense is so good. We have to make the most of opportunities. We get in the red zone against this Bears team. You have to punish them. And we get a nice little touchdown there. Okay. All right. We're coming out flat to the second half. Again, very similar to what happened against the Panthers. But we're getting some points. We're still keeping it within a score. And nope. Oh, no. Is someone queuing up? Am I hearing Boys to Men here? Is this the end of the road? Maybe not. Probably, though. Probably most likely. The Bears defense just way too much. I'm going to be almost embarrassed to see the kind of stat line Trubisky was able to put up on us. But we're a young team. I didn't even expect to make it this far. Trubisky wasn't anything special, but we falter 35-21 in the NFC divisional round. Looking at how well we performed. Kyler, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. It's a learning experience. It's his first real deep playoff run. He's got to get better from this. Our run game was pretty much non-existent. Akeem Butler, they'll take that. 12 catches, 147 yards, 1 touchdown. If that can kickstart a breakout year next year, I will take that because we need him, Isabella, and Kirk to be all firing on cylinders. Defensively, no sacks. We get a pick from Okudah, who's been outstanding as the number 2 overall pick. A little frustrating. We'll lick our wounds, but we are definitely trending in the right direction as we get ready for year 4. Free agency as we gear up for year number 4. We're actually going to spend a little bit on the offensive line here. Austin Corbett, formerly of the Browns, 26-84 would be an instant starter, 11-point upgrade over Pugh. So, hey, let's go for it. Hopefully, though, if Pugh's not the starter, we still get him saying, like, oh, I want to take this O-lineman under the wing and get, all that bonus XP before the season starts. So for our draft in year 3 going into year 4, wasn't very strong. I didn't like the scouting that was done. Wasn't particularly good. So we just kind of went to fill out depth, add some competition to D-tackle. We got Tyrone Bradshaw. I didn't use any real prospects here. 71 normal out of Tulane. Just we got a 68 guard. 67 center, normal. The only decent pick that we had was in the 4th round, Cameron Northern from Oregon, 6'8", 335 tackle, 70 overall, one of the best value picks. I'm not gonna lie. Then I picked a 51 overall quarterback. I hate the scouting, and I was like, you know what? Maybe the computer can pick better than me. I simmed it out. They were horrible, nothing but 50s. So real bad draft here in year 4, but at least we got a big fish in free agency in the dude from Cleveland. I can't remember his name for whatever reason, and Austin Corbett. And hopefully that will help solidify the offensive line, stabilize it for year 4, because we got a big contract coming, I assume, for Kyler Murray. So we're not going to bore you every single year like we did last year in Madden 19, always previewing the roster. Sometimes we'll just go right to the midway point. As you can see here, we are 3-3-1. Ties are still very much, these ties are a thing in real life. Before we look at all the other stuff, we got a new ability unlocked for Raekwon Davis. That is sick. He got under pressure and a power specialist. He's a monster, man. He's awesome. Superstar. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. As you can see, there's something that I'm not looking forward to do, or at least seeing what the price is going to be. We are okay. I mean, we're technically not out of things. Definitely not a great record, though. 3-3-1, third place in the division. So looking at contracts, what does Kyler want? $192 million. You got to get it done, though. And luckily, the salary cap goes up and all that good stuff. This is going to be an expensive free agent here because we want to retain all these guys. Kyler Murray, we got him. Of course, Byron Murphy. Everyone's going to see what we paid Kyler, and they're going to want more. We got Isabella locked up. We want Pat Pete coming back, even if it's only a one-year deal. Keem Butler. Even though you're not developing as fast as I would like, you're still pretty damn good. You had that huge playoff game. Jordan Hicks, you're up there in age a little bit, but you only want a one-year deal, so we'll make sure we can hammer that out. Gaillard, for whatever reason, came out of nowhere, developed into a stud. I actually think I kind of, gassed him up just a little bit in the opening preview of the team, and I'm glad that he's caught on. Thompson's been a nice depth piece at safety. Might have an opportunity to start at some point. I love the fact that he's a 77 and taking under $1 million. Zach Allen's been a nice rotational piece. That's a decent chunk of change there, but he'll take that. And we're definitely not extending Pugh. He didn't offer to take any O-lineman under his wing to help get them juiced up and boost some stats during the preseason, so we can pound sand. But we will come back to the table for Jordan Hicks, Byron Murphy as well, to make sure we keep our own here in the desert. Now, at the end of year 4, doesn't look like we made the playoffs, which is kind of annoying, but man, that team is coming along. 85 overall, 91 offense, 87 defense. Finished 6-9-1. I mean, was this going to finish anything other than a Super Bowl or bust final year 5? I think not. Looking at, I guess, where our team's at here, some base overalls, because we didn't really preview with that. Kyler Murray's almost a 90 after getting almost $200 million. Puka Williams is officially ready to become our starter at the... come on. Why is he our starting fullback? Okay, our starter at running back. Kirk's a 90. Andy Isabella probably will hit 90 next season. Akeem Butler, 82. Offensive line is really taking shape. And that's all development. Outside of Corbett, who we just signed... I mean, obviously... you know what? Even though we did sign a Fetty, we didn't draft him. We developed him into a nice tackle. Seals Jones has been okay. Whoa. Preston here got the star dev. Okay, I see you, dog. Defensively, 85. It's coming along here. Hicks is getting older. Riddick's taking over as the big dog. Buda Baker's solid. Swearinger's starting to regress. Pat Pete's starting to regress, but we got Murphy and Okuda. They're going to be able to take over whenever. We actually probably should do that now. Kim Deechie's developed nicely. Raekwon Davis is a freak of nature at a 91, one of the best defensive players in the league. So we're doing a good job developing. We're right on track here for year 5 to make a legitimate super run. The stats for Kyler Murray, it's just, we already knew doing the Cardinals with the way the QBs are in the sim. For rushing quarterbacks, we were kind of disadvantaging ourselves, and these stats kind of reflect that. David Johnson was okay. Christian Kirk almost 1,000 yards, 10 tutties. Isabella was fine. Hakeem Butler, not getting the offensive numbers we want, especially considering who our head coach is. He's an offensive coach. Son Riddick led the team, 131 tackles, 11 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, 9 sacks from Zach Allen. Cool. Raekwon, 7.5. We got 2 picks, Baker and Byron Murphy. So nothing too overly staggering for our players. We're not going to have much there for MVP. Offensive Player of the Year went to Todd Gurley. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack, with Hassan Riddick coming in at number 5. So that's kind of cool. We definitely aren't going to have any of those rookies. So, let's quick turnaround of a big offseason. I mean, there's no point taking all this salary cap with us to the grave. We'll spend money to try and get us over that hump to make year 5 uber competitive for the Cardinals. To tap out our pockets here in free agency, we're looking at bringing in Ja'Kai Polite, outside linebacker, great scheme fit. To come out and help us get some damn pressure after the quarterback. And Swearinger regressed very badly in the offseason. So we're going to look at bringing in Jonathan Abram, former first-round pick from the Raiders, 80 overall at 26. So that's a nice 7-point potential upgrade. Our final draft here for the Cardinals, we hit a home run. I didn't think we'd be able to find a starter. D-tackle, nose tackles, very weak. We got Jonathan Fleming out of South Carolina, 78 overall. 6'5", 315, has a hidden dev trait 85 strength, 82 block shed, 84 finesse move, 80 tackle, 85, like monster. This guy is simply insane. Look at the traits: high motor, bull rush, big hitter. Like, this is as close to like an Aaron Donald regen as you are going to find at this stage in the draft. So that is simply sick. Second round, we just took best player available, Lane Banks, a backup quarterback. You know, maybe Michigan State, maybe he can pull Kirk Cousins, be good somewhere else. A couple 60s, now understanding that 50s are incredibly prevalent. You know, I'm going to flex with all my linebackers here that we're able to add some depth in the 60s. But obviously, Fleming, huge as we go for a year 5 Super Bowl bust where we led in the center of that defense by a rookie nose tackle. I can't wait to get used to saying this a lot. Here we are, year 5 Super Bowl or bust time. Our team, you know, you saw where it was pretty much at the end of last season. We had a couple additions. Puka Williams will now be the lead back over David Johnson. Other than that, not much has changed on the offensive side of the ball. Real good offensive line, consistent. No, exceptional players, but offensive line, that is a good enough offensive line to get the job done. Defensively is where we spent our money in free agency, bringing in Abram, who will be our starting strong safety. Ja'Kai Polite, who will be coming off the edge with our boy Taco Charlton. I mean, this team's not freaky good. It's not like some of the crazy teams that we were able to build in Madden 19, but this is my first rebuild. We're still learning the ins and outs. But look at that D-line. Kendici's developed nicely. Fleming, this freak of nature. It's very annoying that we only got him going like for 1 year, essentially, because I think this guy here could really get up into the 90s. And then Raekwon Davis, the stud of the rebuild. This team is good enough to get the job done, man. But we have, you know, proof's in the pudding. Let's get into the playoffs first and take it from there. Let's go. We did it. We got a bye. I don't know how. 93 offense, 91 defense, 88 overall. That's how. That's how we got it. What's Kyler up to? We're here for the Super Bowl push. Kyler Murray, 92. Kirk's a 93. Isabella's a 90. Offensive line's just solid as ever. That is an offensive line that's heavy in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to that, I mean, Raekwon, 95. Fleming's already up to an 86. Like, that is the biggest crime from this entire first rebuild. So we don't get to see the rest of the career of Fleming, because this guy has been simply outstanding. Murphy and Okudah have developed into one of the best tandems in the National Football League. Not gonna lie. Has anyone else noticed? I mean, he looks stoned. He's off his rocker. But we got 11-4-1. So that is our second divisional title that we've got here in the rebuild, which is cool. We'll take that. 2 divisional titles to start things out. Look at the stats. Kyler Murray finally had a real good year. It only took me paying him $200 million to do so. 3,600 yards, 33 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Puka Williams in his first year as a starter, over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. David Johnson, too. That's a nice little tandem. Christian Kirk, 1,100 yards, 12 touchdowns. I'm pretty much disappointed that Isabella and Butler never really had, you know, truly breakout years, but the core, the wide receiver core, is solid. Hassan Riddick, 125 tackles, 8 TFLs, 2.5 sacks, 3 picks on the year, 12 sacks from Fleming at nose tackle. This dude's the second coming of, like, Warren Sapp. That is terrifying. Him and Raekwon Davis, that is going to be a tandem. SEC duo, baby. 11 sacks, 14 TFLs from Raekwon, 8.5 sacks from Ja'Kai Polite. So that's paying some decent dividends coming in as our big money free agency signing. 3 picks Riddick, 3 Okudah, 3 from Byron Murphy. Looking at the yearly awards, MVP went to Ezekiel Elliott. Kyler Murray only ever showed up there once. That's kind of weird. Coach of the year. Oh, he did what? 3. NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Ezekiel Elliott. Kyler Murray coming in at number 8. Defensive Player of the Year went to that guy, Joel Ayibun, whatever. I'm pretty sure he's like a depth linebacker right now on the Bears. Cool. Hassan Riddick coming in at 7. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to our boy John Fleming. Let's go. So, that being said, let's find out. I mean, we got the bye, so that's pretty good. Kick your feet up, rest up, heal up, and get ready to take on the 10-5-1 Saints with the goddamn MVP from 2 years ago, Jacoby Brissett. Am I worried? Hell nah. Hell nah. Let's get into this game. Finally, some gameplay. I'm nervous because I literally have only played like 4 or 5 games right now. We're gonna be hopping in. I think it's only on. Oh, is it on all Madden? Am I gonna man up and put it on all Madden for this? Oh, let's do it. Let's do it. We don't know if there's cheese or not. We don't know, how bad the default sliders are. So let's get it. Take on the Saints. Try to get, this year 5 Super Bowl. Let's get this Super Bowl run going. Okay. So on default sliders, Kyler Murray doesn't play like Michael Vick at all. That was so slow in the pocket. Okay, 3rd and 8. Can Kyler Murray do something? They don't have any of their X factors on. Just feel like Kyler Murray. Like, look how this guy has. We're gonna have to get the sliders going, fellas. I mean, the gameplay feels good. It's just they just don't have mobile quarterbacks feel like mobile quarterbacks. He has 90 speed, but literally you could not tell me a difference between him and like legitimately like Joe Flacco back there. Oh, Puka Williams. Oh, Puka Williams. He's that home run hitter. That was absolute filth. I'm not trash on the sticks. We pull one back, 41-yard tutty. All right, let's try C4 special. How does the C4 special feel in Madden 20? A lot of people have been asking me. Well, not good. All right, 3rd and goal. Come on, Kyler. Give me some magic. Give me some magic. Leads. Oh, Christian Kirk. Go ahead. The momentum has completely turned on its head in this game. Cardinals have all of it going into half.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Come on. Can we get something? A big play from our I can't pass right now. I don't know. I can't pass. Cam Jordan's going off. 5 sacks to nothing.
Watch the safety.
Oh, that was ugly. Oh, no. Puka Williams, though. Oof. I don't know how he emerged from that pile, but he did, and that was awesome. Home run. Kid, I got that getaway to the cop speed, right, Gus Johnson? Ooh, that just flexing on him from the 25, too. All right, 3rd and 7. I mean, we're in 4-down territory. Clearly the 2-minute warning. Down 4. We just need to get a clean pocket. Thankfully, Cam Jordan's not in his X factor, so we can't even get. Oh boy, that is getting old quick. I mean, my tackle that's out there's not even bad. Everyone on my O-line's above an 80. So here we go. He's pretty. I mean, it's not pretty much game, but it's most likely game. Can we get? Like we can't. We have had no time that whole game in the pocket, and we have a good offensive line. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe we're not ready for all Madden. Kyler Murray's trash. Why are you gonna make like the most electrifying runner at quarterback, like literally have the same ball carrier skills as like, friggin' Kerry Collins? He gets sniffed on. He fumbles the ball. He cost us the game. He just cost us this whole rebuild because Kyler Murray doesn't play a thing like Kyler Murray. 48 yards. I mean, our offensive line couldn't do it. We learned the hard way that even with the gameplay feeling better, you don't touch all Madden on default slide. You just simply do it because Kyler Murray, I don't know if that's all Madden. I don't know if that's just the design of the game that mobile quarterbacks aren't going to play like mobile quarterbacks. And it's not just a sim issue, but that was absolutely brutal. At least Puka Williams kept us somewhat respectable, 137 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Oh my, that offensive line performance was absolutely pathetic. Byron Murphy got an interception. I mean, I knew there was going to be a big problem in this game when they didn't have offensive line X factors really to counter the OP pass rush. I mean, the pass rush is good, but give me a counter, especially when I build up and I spend all this time getting and developing a big-time offensive line. They should play like a big-time offensive line, not get pushed around like a goddamn CFL offensive line trying to stop Cam Jordan and the rest of the Saints. So, a little bit annoying that we went this far to lose, but we learned right now, what were we expecting playing default sliders on all Madden? The gameplay could be better, but there's never any. It's like an oxymoron. Good. Oh, the gameplay is good, and then you're also trying to play all Madden default sliders like that. That will never correlate. That was rough, and Kyler Murray did not play like Kyler Murray. I did not. I was like you guys. I was like you guys, the viewer. I did not get the Kyler Murray I was sold. I was not getting the Kyler Murray I was expecting. So I'm just as flabbergasted as you guys, but that's it for the first rebuild. We took the Cardinals. We got them to 2 divisional titles. And in our first playoff game, we were idiots, put it on all Madden, and Kyler Murray shit the bed. But there's going to be a lot more of these to go. I think we'll have another rebuild because I want to get the bad taste in my mouth. We'll probably have another rebuild drop on Saturday. So let me know in the comments what rebuild you want to see next. I might do the top community quest. Like I said, man, we're trying to get a lot of likes. I know 1,000 likes is not super difficult, but it's what I'm going to be asking here for quite a little bit here to help me out, help me grow in this opening Madden window. So that'd be big. You guys can help me get 1,000 likes. And like I said, man, Madden 20 hype train's just beginning. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you're new. On that way to 100K, man. So close to 100K. We could sniff it. That'd be awesome. We can hit 100K in the next couple weeks. But that would take some, some pretty good growth. And we're not going to get it with shitty rebuilds like this. At least finished product in a rebuild like this. So we need to get more results. It's a result-driven business. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Money I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Ass in the game, like who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing it big. Way too persistent on taking your bitch. Here comes a monster to scare all you kids. Y'all scared, what you running from? Y'all scared, what you running from? Y'all scared, what you running from? Y'all scared, what you running from?